Hello, I'm Sally, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Sally Wright. I got the little yellows in the corner, okay? This is the raisin water I showed you, maybe a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago. And it's just a little fizzy, and the water has turned murky. The raisins are very plump, and this is the perfect time to strain this. Just thought I'd show you. This is just before it turns into wine, I guess. Wine or vinegar. I'm going to go ahead and strain these. Whoa, very boozy. But this is the perfect time to use these. And I can wash my jar and lid. And I've got a bag of apples. Let me get these. See the raisin water here. Don't know what to do with these. Let me grab this here. I'm not going to squish any more juice out of them. I'm just going to throw these away, I guess. Very boozy smelling. Anyway, I wanted to see how much this actually made. Right at 2 cups. Right at 2 cups, I think. This is a 2-cup measuring cup, so that did pretty good. And I'm going to rinse out my bowl and put my apples in this. And got my little jar here. Well, leave a little bit of headspace there. Let me grab a clean paper towel. I'm going to wipe off that rim so it's not all sticky and mucky. Alright. Can't believe I did that. But, let me get this a little more controlled here. Get that edge, dry that edge off. There. Make sure there's no... And you got to watch this. If there's any activity left in this, that will seal, even without being processed. So you got to be very careful. But that's my starter raisin water. It would eventually turn to either wine or vinegar, depending, and it would be more apt to be vinegar. Now here I have a clean jar, and I'm going to fill this probably about 3/4 of the way with apples, with chopped apples. So, these apples are rinsed off. I don't know how many I'm going to need. These are, according to the bag, they're small red delicious. Then they kind of look like delicious apples. But I'm going to take this. This is got just a little bit of fizz left to it. And Oh no, I forgot to wash my large knife, didn't I? Excuse me a second. I should know better. I thought it was in the dishwasher, but it wasn't. This is my big knife. Right there. These are my apples. Just going to kind of cut around the core. Okay. And I don't know about the seeds. They say apple seeds and cherry seeds have cyanide in them. That's how they make cyanide. But I don't know. Now, if I think got to be careful. This is my sharp knife. I got to keep my fingers away. That's the core. Get around that. But I'm not going to use the core and the stems. Okay. If you want it a little closer to apple cider vinegar, put these there. That way it'll sit up and I can just kind of square around the core. A little safer that way, I think. And there's your core. I don't think there's not a seed in there. Cut these up into chunks. I rinsed them off really well. There's no wax or anything on the this way the apples will sit up and I can just slice right around the core. Got a bit of a my knife is starting to get a little loose. My apple slices are starting to turn brown. I'm going to put a little dab of water in these. So they won't get completely brown. And this sentence I tried to start about 3 different times. That's 3 apples there. This will be 3 apples, I think. No. Is that if you want it a little closer to apple cider vinegar, run these through a juicer or a blender or a food processor. Turn it into apple juice or apple sauce. I actually tried that once. Didn't turn out well. I mean, it made. But, let's see where we are here. I'd say another one. I'll do another apple, I think. Now, I'll probably just snack on the rest of these. Okay, that's part of the core. I thought that was a worm, but that's part of the core. Maybe that is a worm. No. A little gash in the apple, I guess. Maybe that is. No, that's a piece of the core. Never mind. If you want to add sugar to this, you can. I'm not going to. I'm going to start this with a little dab of raisin starter water that I actually had here. New cutting board's noisy. Okay. That's going to be all the apples I'll need, I think. Now, a lot of people will make this out of apple scraps, out of the peels and cores. But I feel that it does better with the actual fleshy apple, the part of the fleshy part of the apple. Okay, I'm going to fill this about like that. I'm going to get these cores out of here we can compost those or just throw them out. You never know. Okay. Grab my spatula. Kind of make sure you got some punching room here. Go ahead and move this out of the way. Get this under here. Yep, that's an apple. Get that water started. Now, I'm going to put in a little dab of my starter liquid, my raisin yeast water. And that, this is just before it quits foaming, but before it quits fizzing. So, it's still very much alive, but that will really get it wound up. And the apples will actually start to swell, so you want headspace. And that yeast water is going to say, I am going to be so happy. So happy. So happy. Let me get this edge here where I've dripped all over the place. Now, I'm just going to put a lid on it. And this has... the head space is to this edge right there, just a little below that edge. Now, there is still a chance this could mold. I don't use a weight to press it down. Some people do. I see no need. And as long as you take the lid off and stir it every day. Just take the lid off, stir it around, and let it get that little dab of oxygen. It'll be okay. Now, if you don't want to do this, if you're intent on making wine, no, you don't want to do this. But that raisin yeast water will go nuts. And I'll bring it back when and if it starts fizzing. I will bring it back and show you what it's doing. Just kind of set it back, let it hang out, and we'll see what it's doing probably this time tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful day.